Welcome back to the range. I thought I'd review another air rifle, and this is a little junior air rifle by Crosman. It's a 1077 and it is extremely light, probably weighs a couple of pounds at the max. It's a little CO2 gun that takes these little silver CO2 canisters, a couple of dollars in most shops, maybe $1, and take that and you pop that in there. We'll show you how to do that in a minute. This one is a pellet gun. It takes this 177 and there's a few interesting features which I'll run through on it. But it's basically for kids to learn to shoot, and it's quite a nice little gun. It's got a little rotary magazine. So what we can see, if we squeeze here, we squeeze that quite tightly there, okay? You have to squeeze those two lugs on the magazine. You can see there's a little rotary magazine in there. And what we do is we pop the pellets in the magazine, pop that back in there, and we're ready to go. There's a little safety just here at the front of the trigger, okay? And there's quite interesting, there's actually a gun lock here. And so if you press, there's two lugs just here. And if you press those two lugs and move that forward, that locks the gun and you can no longer use it. I think that's a safety feature for parents to lock the gun in case they want to just pop it somewhere and make sure their kids don't use it. Okay, so we'll charge this up. I've never used one of these before. It's quite interesting. We've sold a few in the shop. Before we do use it, let's have a look at the sights. It's quite a nice sight. It's got a V sight in the rear, and then it's got quite a nice bright green sort of luminescent sight in the front. So yeah, quite a nice little sight, that. Very easy to see. So we'll fire 10 rounds through this and see if we can get some accuracy. So let's quickly load it up. So we take this out of here. It's got a rod on, you see there. So we took the rod out, okay, so we pop this in here like that. We then take the rod and we put that in there and we tighten that up. And as it takes up onto the bottle, we should be able to, there you go, you can hear it, the bottle become live in the gun. Okay, so tighten that up. Right, now we drop the magazine out. There's the mag, and it's got a rotary mag, so let's load that up. And these are 177 pellets, and we're using these air arm pellets, very good quality, we like air arms. Okay, one of the things we see with this rotary mag is it's very easy to load. So you just roll it around in thumb, it's got a little, you can hear it clicking around, so really nice to position. The pellets fit in really nice and snug, very easy, which is great. And roll it round, pop your pellets in. Okay, so that's full. There we go, there's the magazine. Right, we pop that into the gun, there we go. Okay, there we go, snapped in, that's good. Okay, so this here actually is, so it sort of acts as a safety if you lock it to that position where the gun can't be used. But you take your magazine, you've now fully loaded with pellets. You pop it into the gun like that, okay? You then, this actually mates the firing tube with the magazine. So you pull that back and it's got a little log in it, then lifts up and locks in. This gun is now live. It's got the safety at the front of the trigger, okay? And then we can give it a go. Okay, so I can see where I'm hitting on the sand that it's pretty much exactly the same place. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fire at one of the targets, fire half a dozen rounds and see how we can get on with that. Okay, so I fired 4 or 5 rounds there. Okay, we're going to drop the magazine out. make sure that it's safe. Okay, let's go and have a look, see where they went. Okay, so we're firing those rounds at 20 yards, and I was aiming for here. It does have very big chunky sights, so it's not super easy to see and get accurate, but we've got relatively okay group, and what I think is happening is the lack of power that the gun has. These pellets are actually falling away over the 20 yards. What we're going to do is we're going to come closer, we're going to come to 10 yards, and we'll see if we can actually get some, well, we'll shoot them in the head, and we'll see if we can get some decent, a decent group. These little silver canisters, they won't last very long, maybe get 30 rounds out of it. We'll try another 10 and see how we get on. Okay, so we have fired 10 rounds out of this. We'll see how much the rounds are dropping now. We've come to 10 yards now, so very close. Okay, we're all ready to go. Top right target. This gun is so light, no recoil, almost no noise. Okay, let's go. Okay, it sounds like it's empty. We drop the mag. Okay, there's no way you can have a pellet in this gun when the mag's dropped, because the mag holds all the pellets. So it's not like you load in a pellet. So even though we can't see there's nothing in it, we've got the mag out, therefore the gun's safe. What I would do for any of you parents out there, just make sure that you fire that a bit of air and make sure there's 100% nothing in it. Okay, let's go and have a look at that. Okay, so all things considered, there's our grouping. Now I have not practiced with this gun, I've just pulled it out of the shop. So that's actually not bad, that's 10 yards. Obviously, once you know where it's shooting, you can adjust accordingly and so on. But it's not terrible. If you were shooting at tin cans or something, it's fine. The gun doesn't have the power to shoot a squirrel, well, it has the power to shoot a squirrel, I don't have the power to kill a squirrel, I doubt. And after 20 or 30 rounds, the power will start dropping off. What we're going to do is we're going to put another 10 rounds in it. We're going to shoot here and we'll see how long it takes for the rounds to start dropping off. So that's now 20 rounds we've now put through this gun out of one cylinder. Now, this is a semi-automatic gun, so if you gave it to a kid and they were messing around, I'm sure they could knock out a magazine very quickly, 10 rounds, and another 10 and so on and so on. And it could end up being quite expensive with the little silver CO2 canisters. We fired 20 so far through this gun. We're going to fire another 10 and see if the power holds up and how long it's going to last. So here we go. Okay, let's see if that's dropping. Interestingly, it's almost an identical group to this one. Surprisingly, it hasn't started dropping yet, so let's do another 10. Okay, so that's what we were looking for. So we did 30 rounds, which are okay. After 30, you can see I was aiming here and every round starts dropping down the target. And yeah, you can actually hear it. You can actually hear the power going down. So 30 rounds, it'll give you 30 rounds, which is okay. Now, if you're buying that gun and you've got a kid shooting as much, I mean, a lot of kids love to shoot, so they'd want to shoot all day long. That's going to cost you a fortune in CO2 canisters, an absolute fortune. So is it better to buy a Springer? Yeah, sure. I mean, a Springer is going to save you a lot of money, decent Springer, maybe a 6 foot-pound, 8 foot-pound Springer for somebody who's learning to shoot, a junior, which is about, this is probably putting out 5 or 6 foot-pounds. It's really going to save you a lot of money. So my advice, don't buy this, buy a Springer. Okay, so that's the Crosman 1077, and the other day you may remember we were reviewing the Snow Peak Same idea. The other one, that had a wooden stock. It has the same CO2 canister in 177. The Snowpeak is infinitely more accurate and a nicer gun to shoot. The trigger on this is agricultural. It sort of grinds away until it actually takes up, and then, yeah. So it's really a basic gun if these are 20 bucks or something, but again, you're going to throw away so much money in CO2 canisters that you've got to ask yourself, is it worth it, even if it was free? Okay, so that brings me on to the Snowpeak that we reviewed the other day. Quick flash of that right there. So we've had competition running where you can win the Snowpeak, and we'll send it to you wherever you are in the world, as long as it's legal in your part of the world. And so we're now going to pick out of the hat, bring the hat. Okay, there's the hat. These are our subscribers here, and we're going to pull out someone, and we probably don't know where you are, but that is the person. Is that you is the question? We'll find out. So this is to win a Snowpeak. Great little fun gun. I have to stick some glasses on so I can see. Comodin Fouat. Comodin Fouat. You've just won yourself a Snowpeak. I hope you're in a country that will allow you to have it. So we will be in touch with you, and we'll organise that to get you that little Snowpeak, which is lovely. And I hope you've got some kids that can really enjoy that. And even if you haven't, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Cheers, eh? Till next time.